Today could be the best all-in investment day of the entire year of FT26. As I'm sure you have seen, boys, some of the prices on the cards at the minute are disgracefully low. We're going to talk through all of it today, don't you worry. Yeah, it'd just be silly not to try and make coins off this. Like this thunderstruck Dallo, look at this fullback if it was pre-Black Friday. 90 pace, can play both left back and right back, great play styles. And he's like 80,000 coins, so I'm going to walk you through it today. But before that, boys, let me tell you how you can make coins this weekend, getting ready to invest today and Monday, because this is by far the easiest trading weekend as well. Like, there's so many ways to make active coins. So I'll show you that. I'll show you how you can build your coins up ready for an all-in today or on Monday. Right now, boys, there are three main ways that are just crazy for making coins. There are three ways. Number three is my favorite, but they all work really well. Number one is just lazy selling, okay? So many cards, lazy sell, amazing right now. One of the worst ones is Team of the Week. This is what you boys have been lazy selling because it's so easy, right? These are at discard. You buy at 10,250, and I still recommend you do this, by the way. Go and pick up the higher rated ones, anything 84 and above, but ideally you can get 85s and 86s, right? Go and pick them up at 10,250 on bid, no higher, right? And then go and sell them exactly 1 hour before content. So it's content at 6 o'clock. Go and lazy sell them between 5 o'clock and 5:10, maybe 5:15. It's like an hour to 45 minutes before content, as people do the SBCs when content comes out, right? Should be Coon Day today. You go and list them for 11 to 11:50, and let's say you list 100 cards. If you list them at 11, 70 will sell. And if you list them at 11:50, like 40, 30 would sell. Like, there's free coins. I know it doesn't sound like much, but you can do that every single day at the minute. Like, Team of the Week's at 10,250, that'll always work. So that is one way to make coins. But I prefer lazy selling some other stuff at the minute. One of them is just fodder. It's kind of simple again, but boys, don't forget to just sit, bid, and lazy sell on Fodder. You do not need to win crazy bids on these cards for it to be worth it, right? This Katoto card is 11,500 coins, 88's up right now, but she will easily lazy sell right now for 1250, probably 13,000 coins. And all you need to do for this to be profitable all day, if you're sat doing nothing, twiddling your thumbs, all you need to do, right, which is 1150, go and bid at like 1050, 10750. Like this card here, you can probably go chuck a bid on that at 1050, 10750. Like, you can even go win some of these cards crazy cheap, but I guarantee you're not going to win it for 1,500 coins, right? But go and win these cards. I'd go up to like 10,000, 10,250 coins, list at a lazy, make the 1,000 coins profit per card. But you do that all day, and it's an easy 50 to 100k at the minute with how much content's out. So many people are just buying fodder cards because they need to complete these SBCs, and that is another amazing one to lazy sell. One of my favorites to lazy sell, boys, is some of the discard promo cards. Like this White Adam card, I'm going to guess he's still at discard. He was a little bit up the other day, but I'm hoping he's still around the same price. He's up 500 coins again. He was 11.5 the other day. But this card, right, go and bid on this card and win it for like 11,000 coins. You won't be able to win too many with this card and any other card that's like up to 12, 13, but I guarantee you can win a few of these. Like this person is probably doing the exact same here. You can win them at 11,000 coins, right? Go and win them at 11, and then go and lazy sell maybe 1,000 coins more than what he sells for. And again, they won't sell every time you list them, but it's just free coins. So that is lazy selling, and this is the best weekend for it. You can sell this by now, like I say, for maybe 13,000 coins or a little bit higher. And if you get it with the Shadow Chem style, it'll probably sell for 15 to 20,000 coins. That is amazing right now. But method 2, in my opinion, is a slightly better method. It's kind of the same, but it's slightly better. All method 2 is really, boys, is relying on lightning rounds, okay? Method 2 relies on lightning rounds, and it relies on them because we want supply. I'm sure you boys have been doing this already this weekend. It's insane, right? Go to Global Limits Pack, and when we get huge sets of lightning rounds, like we're already getting some here, but not many people are opening them on a Sunday morning, which is when I'm recording this. When we get towards content, right? But again, towards content is better, but we've already got lightning rounds. So basically, what I'm trying to say is you can still do this now, what I'm about to show you, but it'll just work better as we get towards content every single day. We have lightning rounds. But essentially, right, lightning rounds come out on the hour every hour. So these are out for 10 more minutes, which means they came out 50 minutes ago, which means in 10 minutes, right, in 10 minutes, all the people that have been opening lightning rounds, them cards will come onto the market, right, on mass supply. And you see it with Katoto, really. Because lightning rounds are out 24/7, what's so good about this weekend is, normally we wait an hour after supply, and that is still true. But because lightning rounds are so prevalent this weekend, and there's so many of them, you kind of don't need to wait for specific times anymore. So you've seen it with this Katoto, right? Not an inform one. That'd be a bit silly. But you've seen it here, right? All you're looking for is the supply, right? Can you see how there's just so many cards on open bid? Like, look at this. So many cards. And this is one fodder card of one rating in the entire game. You can do this with any fodder rating above 85, right? There's just so many. So what you can do is mass bid and lazy sell. So it's a little bit of lazy selling, but this is one where you'll start to win these cards at like 5k when she's worth 10. Now, people think you should win all these cards when we talk about mass bidding. you're not looking to win them all at 5k, right? This Katoto, as you see before, is worth 10k, okay? When you mass bid, have a price in your mind you're willing to pay. So for me on this Katoto, it'd be 10k. And it's as simple as go into a bidding war on every single card, bid up to 10k, and if someone outbids you, then move on. And if you get outbid on every single card, then move card, okay? If there's a lot of people on one card, move card. Maybe you go to Rube Dish and he has a little bit better success, right? So you lazy sell these cards as well. The same principle as lazy selling, but you're just looking to win them on bids at the same time, and it adds a little bit more profit, and it works so well when we have lightning rounds so often on this weekend, okay? Number 3, though, is my favorite. Number 3, I'm going to switch to the little Jead account, the little second account, and show you, because I think it's the number 1 coin maker this entire weekend, and it'll build your coins up so nicely for this all-in investment at the end. And guys, if you want to use players like this and like this and just need that little extra boost, then you can get your cheap, fast, and most importantly, safe FC26 coins at eldorado.gg. They have 24/7 support, a money-back guarantee, and you can use code JEAD at checkout to get another 5% off your order. Link is in the description. And boom, here it is. We are on the little Jead Road to Glory account, and as you can see, this is insane, right? A lot of you boys will already know what we're talking about. Let me go relist these cards back up. You can already see from a lot of the cards, it is, of course, special card chem style trading. Look, a lot of you boys have seen this. I'll show it briefly, okay? All we're doing here, right, there's a little variation you can do for different cards, but I genuinely think it is still so worth it to show it one more time and show you how I'm doing it personally before we move on to the all-in investments. Is special cards. You have filters you can do this with, so shadow, and then you're looking for the minimum price, and I'll try and do the best explanation of this possible for you boys, okay? I did 12k shadow special, right? All we're looking to do here is 2 things. We're looking to buy every single midfielder or defender that pops with a shadow at 10,500 coins. That is the minimum price they can pop with. That is the discard price. You can buy every single one. You can even buy this Lazuli you're seeing here. I personally don't. She does sell for 12,000 coins. She just takes a while to sell. And a lot of these cards on this filter you're seeing right now. So Lazuli, Vignola, Due, O'Sullivan. These are cards that take a while to sell. Hence why they're getting down here all the way to the 22nd minute. Okay, they take a while to sell, but you still can buy them. The second thing you're looking to do is learn which cards sell for more than 12,000 coins, and then you can buy them for when they pop at any price on this filter. So you're wondering how you know if a card sells for more. We'll see if we get a card popping here. We do. We get DeCosta, okay? All you would do is, that's 11,750, so we don't buy it yet because we don't know whether it's worth it. It's not at 1050. All you got to do to check whether this is worth it, 11,750, right? That means that we need to sell. Oh, that's the wrong DeCosta. That means we need to sell for about 13,000 coins to make any profit whatsoever, right? I obviously want more. We can lazy sell these cards, but we need 13,000 to make any profit whatsoever. I guarantee there'll be cards at this price. It's how many there are and what the supply is like, okay? So we search 13,000, and already I'm seeing, right, 2 things, okay? Yes, there's a lot of supply, but I'm liking the fact that none of these cards are getting past 31 minutes by the looks of it, which means there's people buying them. Normally what that means is the cards that are, would be further down on the page, like, no, other way, further that way on the page, it means that basically people are buying them on lazies before they can get to, a lower time frame, which means he probably does sell for 13. However, because there's so many, I'd ideally like this card a little bit lower at about 11,250 or below. Now you know that price. And now when Danny DeCosta pops on the filter, you know what price he's doing, he sells for. And you do the same with Hunter, boys. Hunter's normally a little bit more expensive. We do 12,250. And these cards, like that card normally to me, I think sells lazily for a Hunter. I think Carnu will sell lazily with a Hunter. I just know these cards on the filter. They sell lazily, but they do sell. And you do the same principle, right? Vlahovic is a new card. We'll go and check what he sells for. So new cards normally do well because there's less supply of them. And it's the same concept. Anything below 11k, anything 1050, 10750 on the Hunter one you can buy. And the rest of them, you need to learn price. So let's go and learn the price of Vlahovic, and I'll show you why, how I learn the price of these cards, basically, and how I know to buy them at certain prices. Vlahovic, for example, was a bit of a guess, but I know he's a new card, and like I say, new cards just normally do well. Basically, there's been, less time for people to put Hunters on these cards. That's all it is. But with a Hunter, look, he's selling for 17k. We picked up at 11,750, upwards of like 5k profit on a lazy sale. Ridiculous, boys. And you've seen, I've been doing this en masse all weekend, okay? All weekend we've been doing this. These cards sell well. He's a live card, by the way. He could be a good investment when we're talking about all investments in just a second now, but he could be a great one. And yeah, Vlahovic will try and get 17k from. Ridiculous profit. And you've seen, like I say, I've done this all weekend, and we've sold upwards of 200. pardon me, upwards of 200 cards. Insane. Okay, you know how to build up your coins, but now it's time for the juicy all-in investment, boys. If you could leave a like on the video, we're trying to hit 10,000 subscribers, and it really does help, so I appreciate all you legends recently with the support. Let's jump into these all-in investments and what we're looking at. And in fact, while we're loading up the second account, or well, back to the first account, I want to talk to you about timing of the investment. When are we actually looking to buy? Well, the first thing is, if you are luckily, and you're very lucky, you're watching this before we stream tonight, I would say come and watch the stream over on Twitch, okay? Basically, we'll be doing all of this live on the stream. We'll be streaming from 6 p.m. UK, so come and get involved there because we'll be looking at it live, okay? This is what we do the flips on as well. We bought some of these flips on stream, some of them off stream. Like we bought the Van Dijk for 1-1, sold at 1-2. We bought the Osman at 530, sold at 600. And the Xavi we just broke even on because we actually didn't get the dip correctly on this. We bought him at 880. I think we probably lost about 5-10k in tax. But overall on these three, 40 to, you know what, maybe like 70k profit, which is not too shabby, okay? We do all that on stream as well, so come and get involved. But in terms of timing, if you can't make the stream or you're watching it after, there's going to be 2 windows I'm looking at to buy these cards, okay? So, for example, it will matter on price. Like when we're looking at this Reinders card you see me bring up before, it will matter on the price of the card. But we're looking at what they get to Sunday night, Monday night, but it depends on content. So, for example, on Sunday, right, which is today, if we get lightning rounds at 6 o'clock that are heavy, if we get store packs at 6 o'clock that are heavy, if we get an SBC that no one expected and it brings cards mass onto the market, something like that, then the buy time will likely be a little bit earlier on Sunday, maybe 6, 7 or 8 p.m. But normally what happens, boys, is Sunday night is the last day of main weekend league supply, and you get a lot of the bigger cards like Reinders, like some of the other cards we're going to be looking at, like Claudia, right? We always look at Claudia. You're going to see a lot of them cards have the heaviest supply Sunday night, right? Other cards, and this can work for the whole market, but often some cards move different to others. You're going to see on Monday night, as that is the last day of weekend league, and you often see some lows on Monday night, Tuesday morning, okay? And these cards are in pack still Friday, right? Like this Claudia Pina is in pack still Friday, but there's not enough supply between Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and the next Friday when they go out of packs to keep lowering that price. It's just normally how it works. So timing, boys, Sunday night and Monday night, but we're going to talk about price action and why we how we can tell whether a card is buy on Monday night or Sunday night. But yeah, let me walk you through my 7 different all-in investments we can talk about. And the last one is probably my favorite, but we'll talk about what I'm looking at, right? I think all 7 are viable for different people and different budgets. Let me walk you through all 7 possible all-in investments. Number 1 is why I went back to this page, and it's actually some of the Thunderstruck cards like Dallo, like Xavi, Thunderstruck icons too, and it's only some of them. I looked at this graph last year, and basically what happened with Thunderstruck cards, boys, is they kind of fell into the first week and onwards, really. Remember, these are live cards, okay? I know people seem to be forgetting this, but these are actually live cards. Xavi, for example, is linked to Barcelona. But this Xavi is one of the ones I like specifically because he's super rare. He has barely any supply on the market. Not that Xavi, the Thunderstruck one. Has barely any supply on the market. His team is Barcelona, so they're always bound to do at least okay. And he fluctuates between like 800,000 coins and 1 million coins already. So when a card's already fluctuating, it's always good. But look at this guy, boys. Thunderstruck, as you've seen, some of the cards have been packed ridiculous amounts. He only has basically 1 and a bit pages of supply. So we like a card that's rare. This card, like I say, if you look, right, you can go to the icon profile here. You can see it says FC Barcelona win or draw 2 next matches in the next 5 games, which they're almost guaranteed. And he'll get a base play style. They normally give like him decent play styles. I imagine here that I'm going to give him something like Tech, or they're going to give him one of these, I'd imagine. It'd be like if he gets White Intercept, that genuinely could spike the card 20 or 30, 40, 50, even 100,000 coins alone. Like stuff is really good. He could get Anticipate or Jockey. Hopefully they don't give him something stupid like Power Shot, but they normally do it okay, right? They're normally okay with it. And if FC Barcelona win or draw 3 of the next 5 games, which again, he's likely to do, Barcelona are likely to at least draw them, they get a plus in all rolls. That is great. And if FC Barcelona score 10 goals in the next 5 games, and again, Barcelona are likely to do that, they score a crap load of goals, then he gets a playstyle plus, but he's already got that, so he gets another base playstyle. So this Xavi card could very easily look like Jockey, Intercept, and if you go to his rolls, plus in every roll, okay? He's already got plus in Playmaker, but getting a plus in box-to-box, getting pluses in CDM holding, people will love that, okay? So, does that mean you're going to invest in this card right now? No, it doesn't. I'm just saying Thunderstruck cards can be a great investment, and I think the other one I showed you is Dallo. Dallo is too expensive right now to invest in. I can see this card getting even cheaper. But boys, what you need to understand, right? Prem fullbacks are so lacking, and they always have been since Kyle Walker lost his legs, right? They always have been. And the fact that he can play both sides excites me more than my girlfriend does, right? It is crazy. He has Jockey Plus, amazing playstyle. Intercept is great. Quick Step is decent. He's, of course, again, missing some playstyles. But what did we say? If you look at his, okay, he doesn't have the profile, right? Man United is obviously his team. But again, it's the same thing with Xavi, where I think it's 2 wins in the next 5, then it's 3 wins in the next 5, or draws. Man United should at least get draws. I know they're not amazing, guys, but they should at least get draws. We could see this card looking again at maybe a pinged, a ticky. He could get another one of these, like Bruiser. That would be insane. He'll get roll plus pluses. He's already got fullback plus, but give this card fullback plus plus in both right back and left back. Already got 90 pace and great stats, right? Can you see how out of packs I love that card to invest in, right? So, some of the Thunderstruck cards, I think people are forgetting alive cards. They are definitely more risky. And if you want to be, lower in risk, Dallo is one of my favorites. But again, not at this price. I feel like he can get lower, possibly towards 60,000 coins at the end of Weekend League supply with lightning rounds. I don't like at 80. We've already seen him fluctuate down to low 70s, which obviously he is not there yet. And there's some other Thunderstruck cards that will do amazing. But I think low budget Dallo, high budget, I like Xavi for the lack of supply on him. Again, only at the right prices. We can talk about it on stream, and it'll depend how EA do content over the next 2 days. But the next thing we can look at is the orange Fanta cards. These are amazing. This is one that I'm really looking at closely, okay? The orange Fanta cards are, of course, these star performer cards. And what you need to know about these cards, boys, they are just incredibly rare, right? Take a look at this Declan Rice, okay? He has a couple pages of supply, right? So the point is, and people don't seem to understand this, right? Why is this card worth 300,000 coins when if this card was an inform, it'd probably be worth 20,000 coins? It's simply supply. Go and check the supply of Declan Rice's inform card versus his Fanta card, okay? He has, 5 little mini pages here of supply. It is nothing, and he's currently in packs. These cards always do better out of packs. If you want an example of a card that has done amazing, of one of these star performer cards, go and take a look at this Dan's burn graph on Footbin. It is insane, right? He has, again, 2 pages of supply, and he's worth 400,000 coins for a Dan Burn 86 card. These cards are amazing out of packs. I have one favorite card, and that is this Vitinha, but don't overlook that Declan Rice. But Vitinha is still my favorite. He's currently he was literally 500,000 coins 5 minutes ago, I swear. And he's now already back up to 550,000 coins. These cards fluctuate like crazy. And out of packs, boys, this card doesn't have the best play styles, right? But he does have incisive, as in the best play style plus. He does have good play styles, is what I mean. Incisive, ticky, intercept, and technical. We'd like a few more defensive. We'd like ping. But again, beggars can't be choosers. I love this card. Possibly want to invest in out of packs, but of course it's higher budget. There are some low budget ones of these cards. If you're more low budget, boys, we've got this Jimenez. I think it's this one. It is. And again, as you can see, this card you'd think, imagine this card was an inform card. Power header and okay stats. It'd be pages of supply. And even though he's in packs, even though we've got loads of lightning rounds, there's just not that many of them on the market. And he is currently about 60,000 coins or a little bit less at 55,000 coins. This is a card I could see maybe he lows at 40,000, 45,000 coins. Possibly, we'll have to see. And then he could do up to 80,000 coins out of packs, especially if we get a card that needs a Uruguay or an Atleti link. That could be an insane one. I know you think Power Header's not great. It's the same playstyle as Dan Burn, and Dan Burn is currently 400,000 coins. So another great one is the Fanta cards. The next one is the one that most people are looking at, though, okay? Again, it's not my favorite. I'll talk about some of mine at the end. But the next one is what most people are looking at, and that is meta special cards. I'll show you how you can find these cards, because this one's a little bit more difficult to find the cards. But this is like the Reinders we were talking about before, okay? That's going to bring his gold card up, isn't it? No, he actually got his inform. Look at the supply on his inform. That is crazy. Do you see the difference in supply on Reinders' inform versus some of these Fanta cards, right? But anyway, Reinders' inform and Cornerstones. The Cornerstones is way more rare, as you can see, 2 pages of supply. And I almost prefer the Cornerstones as an investment. But he is another 200,000 coins more expensive than his inform for basically the same card. They have a different playstyle plus, but basically the same card, right? So maybe you go for his inform because it's cheaper, okay? But yeah, I really like cards like Reinders. The cards are basically that are just super, super, super in demand. And even though they've been packed a lot this weekend, people just desperately want these cards for their teams. And the way you find these cards, basically, is Footbin popular page. But look at the re-release, okay? Look at the re-release on Twitter. I'll bring it up now, actually. All right, we'll go find the re-release card. I've got a list of leaks. You can follow me on Twitter, boys. And already, look at this. We're getting another Max 85 right winger. Doku again. I think that's his inform card. Fits every fucking Evo at the minute. If that's his final stats, I'm not sure if it says, but if that's his final stats, that is insane. Hopefully that is just a prediction, because that is ridiculous. But you can see everyone's leaking the right wing. Oscar Bob fits. Javinho fits. Must not be a silver icon. Can't be above 10 play styles. Skills weak for upgrade. In fact, more 4-star. That Oscar Bob card, if they give him Rapid, which, this is a Rapid Evo, boys. Rapid's an amazing play style for a winger. I'm sure you boys know. There's going to be some insane cards, so maybe you want to take a look at that, boys. But we should be able to find the re-release. Right, we have got it. It is slightly small. I do apologize. I just can't find a better picture. But these boys, not not all of them, but some of the meta cards in this that we love. And I'll walk you through some of my favorites. We've done this before in a previous video, but as an all-in investment, I have a few that I love, okay? I really like the super rare cards, basically. So that is Haaland, the captain's card, but they're also really expensive. I get it's hard to invest in. I like the live cards that are super popular. So like I said, Haaland, Lamine, even though they lost their first game, Felix and Mecha, Estevao is a great one. Some of the cheaper ones like Matson and Igor Jesus, both Prem, both expected to do really well in the Europa League. I love that. And again, just some of the super meta cards. So Nico Williams, Reinders, Claudia Pina, I like Rafa Leao. Now, a lot of these cards are super overinvested, like they will be overinvested. So go and take a look at prices. Make sure the card you're choosing when you're looking for an all-in investment is not already spiked in price, because there'll be so many investors for these cards in particular that I think we've got to be really careful. Valverde and Wirtz, they're the cornerstones. They can do amazing. Some of these Scream cards, again, they're getting the 99 in 5 days, boys, okay? That is insane. They're getting the 99 in 5 days, and they fell ridiculously. So Yaya Toure, Di Natale, of course, got the SBC, so maybe you stay clear of him. But there's some great options there. And again, we'll see some of these cards do really well, but I guarantee we'll see some overinvestment. And it's why I'm looking at the next few investments rather than this one personally. But I might, even though I've just said that, I might still look at some of the cards like the Reinders I've showed you, like the Haaland, and some of my favourites from this list. Right, the next one, boys, we couldn't do a video at the minute without talking about Fodder. Everyone's talking about Fodder at the minute. Let me just give you the rundown. Let me cut the fluff and tell you what I like on Fodder and what I don't like, okay? We've just seen recently the 88s up. They were already a great investment. They've done really well recently. If you bought them, fair play to you. You've smashed it. They've gone up a couple thousand coins. And same with the 89s, right? They're already up a couple thousand coins. Some of you boys will have smashed that investment. What do I still like with Fodder, okay? These should rise into the next couple of days, but honestly, Fodder has been a crap all-in investment for so much this year. I only like a couple of these cards as an all-in investment, and that is probably 85s and 84s. Now, it's just because they are so low risk. Genuinely, what we've seen with Fodder is people just overinvest in it and it gets cooked every time. The reason I don't like 88, and again, they could touch 14,000 coins and I look like an absolute donut. I get that. And if we see these get lower again, I understand it, right? But the fact they've already been at 9,000 coins and 9,500 coins makes me think that if they get back to this price, we can look for an all-in. But at 11,000 coins, that yes, they can still go higher, I know. But it just can be risky because Fodder has been crap this year. But I know many of you boys love it. 85s and 84s, they're just a longer hold. That is all that you got, that's all you got to worry about, okay? If you're looking at 84s and 85s, pick cards that can fit Evos and pick nothing else. This Barcola is a great example. Imagine we get a left-wing Evo that Barcola is like the best card that fits. You could see him spiking because of that. And he's 84 Fodder. If you want to go all in on 84 Fodder, the only problem I've got, boys, is there's too many supply of these cards. Like, there's ridiculous amounts of supply. You're just going to have to wait a while to see a good rise on these, okay? There's too many 84s on the market for them to rise like next week again, which is why you're going to pick Evo cards. Don't go all in on one card. Splash out between a few. But if you're going to choose 84s, like, for example, Barcola's great. Diaby's fine. Even Dumfries or Marmouche, again, there's a lot of Evo cards there. 85s are similar. I don't know if these are at the bottom price. I don't know if 2.1 is what they bottomed out at. I know they've been low very recently. So they get as low as 1.8. You can win a lot of these cards on bids, like I say, with lightning rounds if you do want to go all in. And again, with 85s, they are also amazing. Oh, we just lost it. But they are also amazing for Evo investments. Where at 85s, they are here, right? A lot of these cards are pretty crap for Evos, as you can see, but you can pick some good ones. For example, if we search by 85's cheapest, you look at this Bremer card, for example, and if we get a centre-back Evo, you can see how this card could be the best possible version for an Evo. We don't know. It's a complete gamble, but if you're going to invest in Fodder and you look at 85s, then I think just pick cards that are Evo ready, because there's no reason not to. Another one, we'll take a look, see if we can find another one that's at discard, but oh, we've gone the wrong page. Another one that's at discard, but of course is also an Evo investment. Schlotterbeck, possibly. I don't really love it. Cascarino, don't love it. Tielemans, don't love it. Benzema is an amazing one. He has got low driven this year, and obviously the Saudi League has been great for like Teo Hernandez and stuff. So if we get a striker or cam Evo that gives a lot of pace and possibly some rapid and quick step play styles at base, I love this card for an all-in, boys, genuinely. If you're going to do Fodder, like anyway, I love this card just because he has already got low driven. Imagine this card if you give him like a 90 pace boost and some other stats. With the links he's got this year, that's great. So Fodder is okay. I just prefer the ratings that are still at their lowest, okay? But because we're talking about Fodder, people are of course going to ask about Team of the Weeks. Boys, I have sorted by 86 rated Team of the Week low to high, and as you can see, they are all at discard. This does feel mental, and let me tell you something right now, which might sound a little bit silly because I'm not going to invest in these cards. These cards will with certainty hit 20 to 30,000 coins at some point this year. It might just be another like 3 or 4 months away from now, so I'm not touching it. I looked at these Team of the Weeks last year, boys, and it took them about a month to rise. And they did rise well. Into Christmas time, they rose like 15 to 20,000 coins, because it's the exact same pattern last Black Friday. But some of these cards took ridiculously long to rise. My advice to you is pick 2 types of cards if you want to do Team of the Weeks. Pick Evo 85 and 86 cards, so cards that can fit Evos that are 85 and 86, or pick the higher rating cards. We've actually seen higher rating cards do better than most this year. So I know, for example, this Bull's not a discard, right? She's just above. But I'd rather you go and do 88 at 12,000 coins than do 87s at lower, just because so many more people will invest at the discard cards that I think you have a better chance on the 88 than some other cards. I think she's more likely to rise sooner than some of the other cards. But even so, yes, she's 12,500 coins. Again, you only want undercuts if you're going for the 88s. You want 11.5s on bids, or even 11s if you can get them with lightning rounds. Yes, it can be a good investment. It could just take a month to rise. If you really are not going to play the game for a month and, you're on holiday in somewhere like Cancun for a while, then boys, you go for it. Not what I'm looking at. And in fact, I'll tell you what I am personally looking at just after this last other investment first, because I know I'll get a lot of talk about this, so I do want to bring it up. It is, of course, discard promo cards. And again, there are some that I really like. I didn't bring this card up for no reason. I do really like this card, okay? Yilmaz will go far in the tournament. Not Wijnaldum's base card. Oh my God, Jeed, switch your brain on. Not Wijnaldum's base card, but again, this card for here, see how it's not selling for 11,000 coins? People are not too quick on these cards. You can pick them up, and you can pick them up on bids, okay? This card is always guaranteed to get a few more upgrades, and again, no pressure on poor Yilmaz, but it almost is guaranteed. But the problem is, the next games are in January, and that is just too long to wait. But because they're live cards, because these cards were not in best of, because these cards were not in the insane lightning round supply, they have so much less supply compared to some of the other cards on the game, and they can start to fit Evos if you choose cards that are 85 and 86 rated. We'll get 86 rated Evos in the next couple of weeks. And again, that is too long for me to wait for an all-in investment, but I know a lot of you boys like doing longer ones. And the reason I like discard promo cards like Wijnaldum is because you can lazy sell them in the meantime. So let me show you what I mean. If you go on somewhere like Footbin, boys, and sort like 10 to 12,000 coins, go and find all the discard promos you can take a look at, right? Let's say, for example, we do actually quite like this Scream Christian Pulisic, even though his supply is ridiculous. He's going to get a 99, and he could touch 13, 14, or 15,000 coins. So this card, I genuinely don't mind as an all-in investment, right? The reason I like these cards so much is, let's say you go all in on cards like Christian Pulisic, you can lazy list them in the meantime until they rise, if they do rise. So, for example, let's say you pick all of him up and you got 100 at 11,000 coins on bids, which is so easily doable, okay? You can wait for a rise, but if you don't want to wait, then you can lazy sell him for between 13 and 14,000 coins, and every 100 you list, maybe you'll get 2 or 3 sales, and you're just going to keep doing that until eventually 20 or 30 sell by doing that, and then he starts to rise and you can sell the rest anyway. So it's just a really good thing you can do in the meantime, and you don't need to pick certain cards. You can spread your bets out. Like, I like Pulisic. I like this weird card if we get like another Scottish card that needs links. I like some of these Thunderstruck cards that can get boost. I don't, like I say, like the Team of the Weeks too much. I think there's too much supply on them. A lot of these cards will be Team of the Weeks. I like Teller's Scream card. Again, more like for a lazy list. He might not go above 12 or 13,000 coins, but for a lazy list, it's fine. I like these UCL cards, boys. They're live cards. I love this Igor Jesus card. Forest, Prem Team. He has ridiculous amounts of supply. But pick this card up at 10.5 and then just lazy list him. And genuinely, you will get sales. It's a bit silly. So you can just do that until Forest win a few games. And if you want to do that, go for it. It's not personally what I'm going to go for on a high budget. But I think it is such a brain... it's such an easy investment, basically, that you guys can go for it, and it's low risk. So again, any card near discard, that is absolutely fine. I would just say spread your bets, right? You can go all in on Igor Jesus, but the problem is, if you buy 100 of this card, and then you lazy list 100 of this card, it just means that less will sell. Where if you got 10 of him, 10 Pulisic, 10 of the Gilbert, 10 of these captain's cards, 10 Wijnaldum, because there's less supply you're putting onto the market of each of them, it just means you're more likely to get more lazy sales, which I prefer. So you can go and do that as well, boys. But let me talk you through what I personally am looking at out of what we spoke about. I have, of course, on a little bit of a higher budget than some of you, not all of you, but some of you boys, and I am looking at cards that are rare. That is the one key word of things that I'm looking at. So I showed you this before, but Thunderstruck icons that are rare, not Schweinsteiger, although he can do well. I want the rare cards, right? So, for example, Thunderstruck Xavi, if I see this card on tonight or Monday night go back down to his low point of low 800,000 coins, I am going in on that again. If I see some of these Fanta cards who go out of packs at 6 p.m. on Monday reach low, so for example, Jimenez, if I see Vitinha, if I see Declan Rice get to a price that I like maybe 250,000 coins at any point, because he's stayed at around 280 to 300,000 coins, right? So if I see 250 on this card, and he's getting between that already, if I see this on Monday or, tonight on Sunday, honestly, that could be an all-in for me. They're rare, not much supply, and that's what I'm going for. So the Fanta cards, the Thunderstruck icons, and some of the promos, but only the ones that are super, super rare. And I also want another thing about them, like live. Like if the card's live, not only are they rare, but they're also live, so then they can go up in value because of that as well. Like look at this Haaland. There's probably about 2 pages of supply on a card that's been in lightning rounds all weekend. He goes between 500 and 600,000 coins quite frequently this weekend. He's back at like 550 at the minute, 547 there. And I guarantee he'll get lower again at some point, and he'll probably spike at some point. So if I see this card at 500,000 coins with any point this weekend, that could be an all-in for me. Now, that's higher budget, and it would mean that I only have to buy 8 of these cards versus buying a million Team of the Week cards. So it's a lot less safe, it's a lot more risky, and possibly less profit potential. But the fact that I can buy 8 of these cards and he can go 100k up each, and I can make 800k in possibly just a couple days to then go all in again, I really do like that. And boys, when you go all in on a card and you're waiting for a rise, you obviously want to still be doing stuff on the game. So why not check this video out here, which walks you through how to do any SBC for free using the League SBCs. It is a great grind at the moment, boys. I hope today's video has helped you out. I hope you can start making some coins to the methods and then hopefully go all in as well. But boys, like always, until next time, I'll see you all in a bizzle.